Energy. A constant, convenient commodity we can access at the flick of a switch, the turn of a key, or the push of a button. But with our main sources of energy, namely fossil fuels, being non-renewable, our supply of energy is beginning to dwindle under the demand of an ever-growing world. We have approximately 40 years of oil left. For most of us, this falls within our lifespan. The responsibility to find alternatives therefore falls to us. Our dilemma? How to provide energy for just over 1 billion cars once petrol and diesel become history. Today, we will explore whether biofuels are providing enough benefit to make them worthwhile, and what changes need to occur to make them a feasible alternative.
All biofuels fall into one of two categories. First generation biofuels are either unsustainable or would have a significant impact on our food supply if used in excess. Examples of resources, also referred to as feedstocks used to produce them, include vegetable oil, sugarcane, potatoes, fruits, and waste wood. The other category, second generation fuels, are sustainable but currently very underdeveloped with low energy content. Examples of feedstocks include algae, waste paper, and inedible plant matter.
In principle, biofuels provide the perfect solution to the energy crisis. They are sustainable, clean, and very easy to source. In fact, many of them can be made from waste products, and they have the potential to become cheaper as the cost of oil can only skyrocket. Not only that, but having been made from organic sources, any biofuel spills will do far less damage to the environment than a petrol spill. In early February of 2017, NASA conducted a study with a biofuel made using a plant called camelina, a weed native to Europe and Asia. NASA found that when jet engines were powered with a 50-50 blend of this fuel with diesel, their emissions of soot and other harmful substances were significantly reduced.
So ultimately, the main issue with biofuels is that they take up land which could otherwise be used to grow food. If we implement biofuels on a large scale, demand for them would increase, significantly reducing food production. This would lead to a sharp increase in food prices and, with a rapidly increasing global population, a sharp increase in starvation rates as well. On top of that, we're often led to believe that biofuels are carbon neutral, that they absorb as much carbon dioxide when they grow as they release when they burn. This is not the case.
In 2014, the Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change reported that indirect emissions from biofuels can lead to greater total emissions than when using petroleum products.
To explain this, let us consider the life of a humble sugar beet.
Sugar beet is a common feedstock for biofuel. This juicy root vegetable takes just 100 days to grow, making it an ideal plant for producing fuel quickly. Before planting, the field must be ploughed and fertilisers must be scattered. Next, seeds are planted using heavy planters known as drills, and an additional layer of fertiliser is applied, along with pesticides and herbicides to reduce pests. After a great deal of time and water, the beet can then be harvested. The raw crop must be transported to factories, which refine them first into sugar and finally into ethanol. They can then be distributed and sold as biofuels. Even worse than the fact that using biofuels may increase overall carbon dioxide emissions is NOx. NOx are a family of gases which have a 300 times greater effect on global warming than carbon dioxide. They also happen to be a gas released in abundance by biofuels. But food shortages and greenhouse gases are not the only complication biofuels cause.
Their low energy content is a serious problem for us. Not only because it makes them inefficient on a day-to-day basis, but because, for example, if a whole country were to switch to using only biofuels, their economy would suffer. They would be spending so much time and money on a fuel which doesn't perform like a fossil fuel can.
So biofuels are far less efficient than fossil fuels, may actually have a negative impact on climate change, and could lead to food shortage and economic collapse if we overuse them. What is our solution? The answer is moderation. Globally, bioenergy is the fourth most used alternative energy source. If we keep it on a small scale, producing and refining it locally, it can still be of benefit to us. Biofuels can contribute to our overall energy need whilst being supported by hydropower, wind turbines, geothermal power, and solar energy. Biofuels are by no means obsolete. We just need to use them in conjunction with other energy sources to make sure they are worthwhile.
At the beginning of this documentary, we posed the questions: are biofuels providing enough benefit to be worthwhile? And what changes need to take place in order for them to become a feasible alternative?
During our research, we discovered that biofuels have a number of worthy qualities as an energy source. However, if used in excess, the price we pay environmentally would be too high.
To make them a feasible alternative, we would need to produce them locally to reduce their carbon footprint and use them in conjunction with other alternative energy sources. Although once heralded as a panacea for the oil addiction slowly choking our planet, we can now see that biofuels are, in truth, only part of the solution.